So, and I say this from a place where this is something I do. I believe in being who I am and reaching out, and I show you rather than tell you, because it's easy for people to say this is what you need to do. It's a little bit harder to show people this is what you need to do. And we were talking about it earlier. One thing that I do is I meet people where they are, and I reach out to them and say, what can I do to help you? And it's something that I not only do, it's not just lip service, it's feet service, it's hand service, it's pulling people together. And perfect example, Cynthia Patterson, who's here today, her ministry, Dove Ministry, I met her because I reached out to her and said, what can I do for your ministry? I work for a Fortune 100 firm that has access to funds for charities, and so I use those funds. I reach out to the community and I say, once a month, who can I sponsor? Who can I help? What are you doing? I work in a building with 1,500 people, so guess what? If I can get them to bring a can of green beans and a can of yams, somebody ate Thanksgiving because I put a flyer up that said, bring some food in. So at the end of the day, you meet people where they are, so every business leader needs to reach out and say, as my business grows, I'm going to sow seed into a nonprofit, and every nonprofit needs to put themselves in a place where they can meet these business leaders and not be afraid to ask for help.
Yes.
If they're closed mouths, don't be
And then the B part of that is thinking creatively outside the box. If you are for-profit, how can you now become relevant in the nonprofit world? We all know that business goes through cycles. And if you have your hands in a bit of this pie and a bit of that pie, and if you remain relevant, then you have a better chance of sustaining yourself through tough times. So it's about creating partnerships. And if I know that this nonprofit can be profitable to some degree in my corporate culture, then I need to start nurturing a partnership there. And it's going to challenge me to, again, think innovatively. I can't just be tunnel vision in my business or in my enterprise. I've got to think from a panoramic point of view, and it goes back to relationships. If I can garner relationships with you, you're more likely to look out for me when my time gets tough. And if I'm in a relationship with you, vice versa. So I have a safety net of sorts when I can tap into you and you can tap into me. So it's about garnering those relationships, nurturing them, but thinking creatively about your enterprise and remaining relevant. You have to think about your business past the 5-year point because it's going to hit a cycle. So think about it in long terms.
Very good. Al, do you have anything to add?
Well, I was asked to bring an example, and I always find examples every day. So just this morning at 9 o'clock, I was at the Waller Community Day. And I had another example, but since I was there and I had created a new example, I brought it with me. I was at the Diversity Summit yesterday in Sugar Land, down the Marriott. Anybody else who went to that? It was amazing. 2 o'clock today, Channel 11, they're going to show a film that was shown on the aging and browning of Houston. And it's an awesome film. A Rice professor, I want to say Stephen Klein maybe, did it. I mean, they do a survey every year. It's amazing. And, but anyway, and it was just a wonderful thing. But one of the things they talked about was how Hispanic, especially Hispanic children, have a tendency not to finish high school. African Americans finish high school but don't go on to college as much. And then, basically every group they had the studies. But it was interesting. This morning at the Waller Community Day, I went around to the tables, spoke with a guy from Lone Star College. Nosotros ofrecemos, well, anyway, I couldn't read it, but they offer GED programs, Spanish.
You try, baby.
We're going to give her an A for effort. I can read this now.
You try.
But, and then we have the woman at the Career and Recovery Resources. They matched up businesses with people who need jobs, so starting at 16 years and older. And I said to both of them, I would like to help come in and speak to your students that are getting their GED and are wanting to go to Lone Star, help them to find money to be able to go to Lone Star. So that the three of us, she has the business link for the jobs, the Lone Star and I, the three of us together can create some great opportunities for some young people.